Welcome on this sunny day. Please join me as I give this space in my home a makeover. This corner of my living room has unfortunately become a little bit of a dumping ground. With a little bit of DIY, I'm going to give this space a small home office makeover, and on a budget too. So welcome, I'm Sarah and this is Red Rocking Bird at home. This room is no more, we now have our extension, and this is our old dining table, and I'm going to take this and use this in my small home office makeover. This is a veneer table and it's water damaged on the other end, so I'm going to utilise this and make it into my new home office table. I put this table on eBay for £30, but nobody wanted to take it off me, so I thought it's going to cost me more than £30 to buy a home office table, so it's a great opportunity to create something new out of something old. I love to do this and save it from going in landfill. The width of the table is enough to give me a good size office desk. I don't have any special tools here. I have my rather rusty saw, which I do need to get a new one. I've marked out how deep I want my table to be, and then I'm just taking my handheld saw and cutting this in half. You can of course use a jigsaw or a circular saw if you have access to these. I do have a jigsaw and you can get hold of these really quite cheaply, but I find I get a nicer, straighter edge with a hand saw. So don't be scared of using what you have and attacking it with those tools. Here we're in our new home extension, and I made a short video to show conservatory to extension. And on this channel I hope to show you lots of the home improvements, including in this new space. My table is now in two pieces and I have a friend that would like to use the larger part. So none of this has gone to waste, and this part is going to be my new home office table. With a small piece of sandpaper I'm just taking off the rough edges. I could leave the table as it is, as this colour, but I'd like it to match my home decor a little bit more, so I'm lightly sanding and scuffing the surface, as this is a laminate furniture, and then I'm taking a soft rag and making sure I'm removing all of that dust before I paint. Ideally take any pieces to paint outside, but I'm going to paint this right here, so I'm opening all the windows for full ventilation. I'm going to use this oil-based wood paint that I have in my garage, left over from another project, and I find this adheres really well to the laminate furniture and gives me the desired effect that I would like for this piece, giving the whole table a very light coat of paint. Always do a little test piece first to make sure the paint is adhering well. This is now fully dry and nicely scratch resistant, and I'm going to take some coarse sandpaper and lightly sand down to give it a slight aged look, and also see a little bit of the grain in the laminate. Of course, if you'd like yours a solid colour, give it a second coat of the paint. Again, I'm removing any dust, and then I have a clear lacquer and I'm going to give this 2 or 3 top coats to protect my surface. So there we are, from an old table I now have a new desk. It's going to go against the wall, so it's okay with the 2 legs, and the wall acts as the other support. I'm making sure it's nice and level before I secure it in place. And to do this I have a baton of wood which I will mark and screw into place. I love using my power tools, and this is a good excuse to get using them, but you don't have to be an expert by any means. The planning part is always the most important part, so measure twice and drill once. Always use the correct wall fixings for the type of wall you have, and if in doubt, please go and ask. This is the wall support nearly in place, which I will then screw the back of the table to. I have these IKEA picture shelves that I'd like to make use of, otherwise they were just going to go out. I've cut the longer one to the same width of the table, and I think I'll use both pieces, adding one down here for my mug and some little bits and pieces, and I've added the other one at the top in the same way as I attached the baton of wood earlier. I want to add a splash of colour to this wall, and so to do this I'm going to draw a large circle using a piece of card, a nail and my pencil, and like this I can just draw a large circle with this easy method. I have some emulsion left over in the garage. If you need some emulsion for an accent colour like this, you can mix your own like I often like to. I've added a small amount of green acrylic paint to this as well, taking my large round brush and painting in that circle. This is a great and budget-friendly way to add a splash of colour. Any nice bold shapes can be added like this. I'm priming the picture shelf just like I painted the laminate table. I really love to do home improvements like this, it really is very satisfying. I wanted to change the colour of these shelves, so I'm just painting them a nice grey to match the decor. And this is a quick small space makeover that I could complete in a day. So with my home, I've set myself small goals and I'm completing each small step at a time. Now that everything's dry, I've screwed back the shelves. Home decor is all about personal preference and personal taste. The fun it is definitely bringing all these bits and pieces together and making it that lovely cozy home feel. This is definitely something I need to do more of in my home, and I'll share my journey with you within this channel. I'm currently making a really big DIY sideboard for my new extension in the dining room. I really love how this small space has already turned from a dumping ground into a space that I can really utilise and make use of. This cosy planter was an orange bucket, and I'm also going to share a video with you about how I DIY lots of different planters. Greenery and foliage really brings a lovely dimension to the home. So that I can sit at my table, I've brought a dining chair in, but I have this chair that I'd love to upcycle, and so at some point I shall show you. This office corner project has been so budget friendly I didn't actually spend a penny, and I love making use of what I have. And with that I have a gorgeous space to do some work in or do some sketching at, and it certainly is a big improvement from what I had before. I hope you've enjoyed this too, and I really hope that it gives you some inspiration. With a little bit of thought and a little bit of paint, I've created something completely unique and something very usable, and a space in my home that I can be proud of. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next videos.